Hey, we're Midland. Oh, me? And you're watching Kurt's Country on NewsNation.
Welcome to Kurt's Country, only on NewsNation. I'm here today with the amazing, talented, one of my favorite personal bands in all of music, not just country music, Midland, who's joining us from, I believe, Ohio, where you're kicking off your tour tonight, right?
Cincinnati, Ohio, to be exact. Yeah, we're kicking off the Get Lucky tour tonight, which is pretty wild. And then I guess at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our brand new album, Barely Blue, comes out. So, if we seem a little tired, it's because we've been working really hard. We've been rehearsing for the last couple days. We probably did 10 hours of rehearsals, all the new music, working on some really exciting new covers. And we played the Grand Ole Opry, we did a private show for the Opry afterwards, and then played a show last night in East Nashville, which was an album launch preview. What do you got? I mean, I guess it was just an album launch party. Yeah. Yeah. So we're a little tired. A couple Coors Lights were casualties.
So the album's called Barely Blue. And it's 8 songs. I was listening to it earlier, actually. And from what I understand, this is the first album you guys have recorded not in Nashville. And you did it in Georgia out at Dave Cobb's, right?
We were out in Savannah with Dave. Dave is now, so successful that he can kind of go wherever he wants and people will come to him. Thankfully, he has a studio in Savannah that we were eager to experience. And part of the package with Dave is that he puts you in a place, in a time, in a space that hopefully will influence the outcome of the music. And for us, we really connected out there with Savannah. And yeah, it's different. We did all our last few records in Nashville. But as we are, in our 10-year anniversary, it's kind of, it's the word kismet, but the other one.
Like a full circle?
It's a full circle that we cut this album, Barely Blue, in the same vein that we cut our very, very first album together, before record labels, before all that.
Yeah.
At the Sonic Ranch in El Paso. So it's kind of, it's like a full circle moment for us.
What is your takeaway in terms of when fans pick up this album and listen to it from start to finish? How do you want them to walk away from it feeling? Because I feel like it is incredibly. When I think of your music, honestly, it's sometimes taken sad songs, but you somehow feel good about them after you listen to them, which I think is a pretty unique, music thing to be able to pull off.
Yeah, I think there's an atmosphere in there. I think part of that whole Savannah thing got distilled into the album. It was such a different approach to making an album that, at least for me, I feel like there's just a totally different feeling to that album, top to bottom. And I don't know. I mean, we kind of, I think there's some happy, there's a straightforward love song on there. There's song Get Lucky, which is, the most lighthearted song that made it onto the album. And so it's not, country music, or at least classic country music, it's definitely heavy on the breakup songs and tear in my beer stuff, so we're always going to do a lot of that. But yeah, you should be able to put it on a Saturday night, with friends, or if you're heartbroken, or that's what we try to do, is make music for every situation.
How do you think this translates, this album, into your live show? Again, you're kicking it off tonight, obviously. But when you're building a new show, and especially when you have new music, how does, as you're both making the album, but then now turning it into a live performance, how does that all work together in your guys' minds creatively? Don't all talk at once.
Well, we're actually just reeling from the last 2 days of rehearsals, and what we've been doing is that
Mm-hmm.
we've been workshopping all that stuff and trying to. I don't know. I think that we're probably mostly concerned with making sure that it feels like an event when you come to see us,
Mm-hmm.
and not just pressing play on an album. So
Yeah.
there's part of the pageantry of it all, but also we, for us, like maybe selfishly, we also try to find covers and things like that where it keeps it exciting for us. And look, I'll speak for myself. Like, this is night one of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish we had 4 more weeks of rehearsals for this. It's just like we had maybe collective 6.5 hours to figure it all out. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about doing it like that is you have this energy going into it where anything can happen. And I wouldn't call it nerves, but it's something, it's something that keeps you on edge. You're not thinking about like, did I leave the stove on,
Right.
today? Totally locked in present. So,
But it is, I think your question, or just going to finish that, there is something brand new. Jess kind of alluded to it. Karen was talking about the rehearsals, but the stage setup is completely new that,
Mm-hmm.
that, we worked on. Cameron really led the charge on that. He really knows lighting and stage setups and stuff like that. So we did really build something that's totally brand new that does have a little bit of like the Elvis comeback special vibe to it. There is something very classic, but very timeless to it. And then this album really does feel like a fresh start for us.
Yeah.
In so many ways. And I think even though we're tired, we are enthusiastic. We're trying to be respectful of one another, responding to the questions. So we're kind of waiting for our cues. And the brains, the synapses are just a little slower this morning. But there is an excitement. Like, yes, we're tired, but it's like I was saying to somebody last night, like it's the kind of tired that we've been working our whole careers to get a feel like, it's a good exhaustion where we just came off 12 hours of playing music and throwing in 3 different shows in the last 48 hours. But we had more fun in these rehearsals and working out these covers and this new music. And I always think that's like as an artist, that's like a really healthy indicator. Like if you're truly diving into this music to really flush it out live, that's a really great indicator of, I guess, of the album and
Yeah.
at least for us, the quality of this album, because all 8 songs provide such unique challenges to portray live, and each song has like, I think, a special place in our hearts where it's like, I don't know, I guess they're all different, totally different songs and different colors and ideas, but again, the through line is that they're all kind of barely blue. They're all a little bit of this uplifting, melancholic, reflective kind of batch of songs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, I got to say, Old Fashioned Feeling. I love that song. Again, I was listening to the album, the last couple of days that your folks were kind enough to send over to me. And I think it's an outstanding piece of work from top to bottom. And I feel like as a fan, I've been a fan of Midland, since Drinking Problems, I feel like and this happened to so many artists, COVID was so weird and it stalled so many people's momentum. And, I've watched over the last, really year and a half now, artists get their groove back and, reintroduce themselves to the fans in a way that they weren't able to continue doing, obviously during all the COVID shutdown stuff. And I feel like that this album and this tour is a great chance for fans to come back to Midland or discover Midland for the first time, and give you guys that extension, that bridge from the Midland we last saw and knew to where you guys are right now.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I think we kind of feel the same way. It really does kind of feel like a fresh start. And yeah, I mean, I think that look, it impacted everybody. I think that especially us. We were getting ready to go on I don't know if it was a world tour. Was it a world tour?
You guys were going to go out with McGraw, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean,
we had European dates.
Yeah. I mean, and we were kind of right there where when that hit, there's two sides to it. We had also been on the road for quite a while, starting families, and in a way, like, we were pretty afraid. Not afraid, but like frayed, like, like
Yeah.
the threads were coming undone in a way. So that forced us to, number one, take a break, which was much needed to get to spend time with their kids and raise their kids and be at home. But it also took away, there's like three elements to us, it's like songwriting, being like producers in the studio, getting to make music, and then being live performers. Those are like the three, I guess the three parts of what we do. And that was kind of taken away from me, what the most fulfilling in a way, because you get the charge, and there's no drug like playing live music in front of big crowds, and they're singing back to you, and like every night just feels like you just jumped out of an airplane. Well, let's see. Yeah, you're right. So when that went away, I think it did force us to go kind of inwards, and I think that the three of us realized that nothing is given, and we have, I feel like, been battling back to get to where we were, what the momentum was. And I think that the three of us really, truly do kind of feel like almost like new artists. We have that same kind of vigor and that same focus, and maybe a little bit of like, at least for the live thing, like we feel like we got something to prove every night, but that's a good place to be. I feel like 10 years in, feeling like you still have something to prove, and you feel like there's still something left to say. And I feel like this does feel like that next chapter of the band. So we can't wait for, number one, people to hear it, stream it, and then come and see it live.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to go see you guys live. I'm definitely going to make it out to one of the dates on this tour. I think I haven't seen you guys in really since before COVID. It might have been here in DC at the 930 Club way back when.
930 Club. I almost got arrested. I was driving.
That's the last time you saw
down the shoulder lane trying to make that.
That was the first time we played there. That was the first time.
Have we played there twice?
We played there with Aaron Watson, and then we headlined it.
Oh,
well, it was when you headlined it.
Yeah, remember?
Shout out.
Yeah.
Dude, we ate at the diner across the street, and they refused to serve us.
No, that I don't remember. Remembers all of the most absurd things.
It was
like I've seen you guys intermittently since then, but not on a headlining capacity. I think I saw you guys. It might have been with Thomas Rhett in Los Angeles, actually, at Staples Center. Might have been a date.
That was on the Forum.
The Forum. That's right. That's what it was. It was you, I think Brett Young and Thomas Rhett, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, you got to come out and see it, because the whole new stage setup. This, Cameron was, or Jess, I think it was Cameron. It was only 3 minutes ago. You'd think I'd remember it. But with the new covers that we have and stuff like that, it's another like kind of opening the book of our influences and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of expanding, I guess, into the real realms of what we listen to, which is like, it's very robust, our musical taste.
And the fact is too, these songs, they're all really great live, and that's not. Yeah. I can't say that about every song that we've cut on other albums, So if you're in the very least bit interested, and there's still tickets available, if there are, you should come out and see us and experience the Midland review.
I'm going to do that. Thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me. I know you guys are running ragged right now. There's album release week and kicking off the tour at the same time.
You should see Todd right now. I feel equally bad.
Yes, yeah, no, I
I
appreciate
wish I got
y'all.
4 more hours of sleep and drank 4 less beers last night. You know?
Amen, amen. Well, I look forward to seeing y'all on the road. Again, thanks for watching Kurt's Country on NewsNation. Be sure to like and hit subscribe on the button below you, and we'll talk to y'all next week. Thanks so much, Midland, and we'll see you on the road.
Thank you, Kurt. Appreciate you, buddy.